Welcome back to the Museum TV. Another banger here at 336 Blue Hill Ave here at the Muse. Shout out to Big Homie. Shout out everyone who allows us to use this space and come in here and, give you guys soul food. Today's conversation is special. I'm sitting down with someone who spent the last 6 years building not just a platform, but a voice for culture, community, independent media for Boston. She's the founder of Spark FM, 24/7 independent media and news platform. She's the host of Saucy and Friends, and she's the founder of the Boston Society of Caribbean Culture and Heritage. I know it's a lot of words, guys. Creating real impact through cultural preservation and community connection. Her work here has even been recognized at the city level with honors connected to Michelle Wu and for contributions to Caribbean culture and community in Boston. She's also brought powerful voices onto her platform like Sherry Shepherds, who some of you may be familiar with, who lit up the stage here at the Wilbur Theater, and leaders like Kim Driscoll, who's part of Massachusetts' first all-women executive team. Danielle J, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So, 6 years of Spark FM. What does that milestone actually feel like for you?
Exhausting. It feels good. At our anniversary party, I kind of, realized that we had, almost gotten out of the basic statistics when it comes to Black businesses or small businesses in general. Most businesses don't make it past their first year. Then you get to the third year and you're like, okay, we're swinging, and that sometimes fails there. But after the fifth year, you're kind of like in a automatic, situation. It's not stable. It's not stable by any means, but you've learned enough in that time to kind of keep going at least month by month. Put it that way, yeah.
So, out of everything you are, I said a lot, founder, host, community leader, what feels most true to who you are today, in your opinion?
Dog mom. No, what feels most true is I think at the heart of it, I'm still just a creator. I'm a visionary. Like the entrepreneur stuff wasn't necessarily something, let me stop lying. It wasn't something that I knew this path was going to take. I knew that I wanted to own something, whether it was a clothing brand, podcast brand, something. At this capacity, I didn't really kind of think about it that way. So this has been, it's been very interesting. And I think, at the heart of it, I'm still mostly a creator. That's where I find joy. That's where I get to kind of not be in overthink mode. And it's just doing what I naturally do. And that's, talk shit and inform the people about what else is going on.
So take me back before a time that was before Spark FM, right? As a creator, you said, what did you feel was missing?
So I first started out in community radio. I actually started out being a blogger. And I'm not, my spelling and grammar is not the best. Two and two be fucking me up. Can I swear here? Okay. There, and there. All the things. All of the ones. Sometimes, depending on how fast I'm going, it might get mixed up. Not crazy. I just be fast. But then I ended up, someone suggested, why don't I do radio? So I started doing internet radio in Quincy at this place called Cyberstation USA. I don't know where it went. I met somebody else the other day that started off there too, and that was crazy. But then in the midst of doing that, I started getting into community radio on B87 Boston. It was a brand new, it was a reincarnated radio station from Hot 97. And it was called Hot 97 Boston. And that's when I really found the love of radio. And I really kind of understood my place in the world. Then I had a podcast. After I left radio, I did a podcast, Henny and Hot Wings, lit. Shout outs to us. We'll probably do a little reunion soon. But you should be on it. Henny and Hot Wings. What was missing was the question is, I was doing really good with Henny and Hot Wings. We had a clothing brand attached to it, single AF, because it was about love, sex, and relationships. But it was something missing. It wasn't big enough. There was still people saying to me like, oh, I want to start a podcast, or when are you going back on radio, or something like that. And I was like, why don't we just do something bigger. Let's start a radio station. And at first it was just like, okay, we'll start a little radio station. And then it morphed. It morphed. It got like mutated and it got bigger and bigger. And it became more than just a radio station. It really actually became a community. And that's what was missing. It was a community surrounding that and a way to really kind of position ourselves to be a respectable voice and a necessary voice. And there came the radio and all its programming.
Oh, I mean, that was a long journey.
It was a long journey. I started that in 2009. So we're almost at, what, 17 years? That's crazy. Wow, I'm old.
Don't think about that. You've survived. That's longevity.
I guess so.
Ah, look at you. You pouting. So what did people misunderstand about your vision early on? I mean, it's hard to get anyone to agree or even believe because there's no reference point.
By accident, I think that because I put in so much work in the community before, and while I was on the other radio stations, I really was able to build a personal brand, a personal influencer. Well, they call it influencer now. Back in our day, I don't know what. I think we was just bloggers or vloggers or whatever.
No, bloggers.
Yeah. So I had a pretty heavy personal brand. So and people knew me for radio. So when we launched this, it wasn't necessarily that still now, I'm still trying to get people to listen to the damn radio station now. The radio station they paid for and they said they wanted to have. I'm still like, hey, listen to it now. We built it. So one of the biggest things to get people on board was just to really show them something. People want to be a part of the beginning so they can say they knew you before. They also want to be part of the story. They want to say that they was there for the first thing that you had and they watched you grow. That really kind of gets people inside of the business. And those are your first people that you know are going to be your most loyal people, the people that have been there. Some of them trickle off a little bit depending on how fast and how big you grow. However, for the most part, those early adapters to what you're doing, those people that first donated to your crowdfunding or gave you or bought a t-shirt or did something, those are mostly the people who kind of want to stick around to see where you take it. So it's more so of a nosy, I want to be there type of vibe.
Curious kind of thing.
Like I want to see what you're going to do with it. And I'll mess with you as long as you keep on doing it. So let's see what you're going to do now. It's a little pressure, but.
I mean, people are always watching.
Yeah, they
always watching.
Always watching.
What did it cost you in the beginning to really get this stuff off the ground?
My life. So we did start with the crowdfunding campaign. We got the community involved early. Before we even launched, before I even knew that this could work, we told them, hey, you guys are complaining, all you're doing is crying about a radio station and the feds come and then
that's how they sounded, huh?
Look at us, I'll put money up, I'll do what I gotta do. So we was like, okay. They saying they're going to put money up. So let's do it. Let's start a crowdfunding campaign. Now, crowdfunding is something that we typically don't do in our communities. Why we don't do it, I don't know. Because we have this feeling that we need to get it from the mud. And we got to kill ourselves to make something grow. Crowdfunding is something that white people do all the time.
Can you explain what crowdfunding is to those who don't understand the business?
Crowdfunding is when you pretty much fund from the crowd. So friends and family and network of people. This is where you say, hey, I have an idea. There's a proof of concept that it will work, and I need you to put some money behind it if you believe in me. Now, to get people to come out their pocket and believe in you, that means you got to put some work in. You got to make sure that the numbers add up. It makes sense. You have the experience. You have the logic, because people are always wanting to find a way to not give you something. But if you set it up for them that they don't really have a choice, like, why not? Why wouldn't you donate to this? Like, why wouldn't you? So we set out to raise $17,000. At the end of the campaign, we had close to $26,000. And
So
from there,
you guys exceeded the goal.
Exceeded the goal. And then from there, I swear to you, I ain't never seen money go that fast in my life. When it came to buying equipment and computers and furniture
All of it
and paint
reinvested
and
back
stuff,
into the business.
it really went there. Like, there was not even no room to run out on the plug. There was no room to do anything. You had to put it where your mouth is. So we actually did that. We hired some Black people, we used our resources, and we built a small station in a 700 square foot room. And it was a vibe. It was dope just in that one room. So we were like, why not go bigger?
And go home. Yeah, guys, invest in art,
Absolutely.
So people hear 24/7 station, they don't really understand what that actually takes. What does your day-to-day really look like?
So that's funny. I got asked that question earlier today, and it is interesting. So it is 24/7. So obviously, I'm not there all the time. We have about 24 live shows a week.
Wow.
So this is 24 different broadcasts that come into the station and broadcast for either 2 or 4 hours or however many hours they committed to doing. So my day-to-day, I do the morning show, Saucy and Friends in the morning. That's Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. Once I get there for the day, I'm pretty much there till about 3 o'clock. Those are my hours, 9 to 3, really 11 to 3. After that, I'm off the clock. That's the benefits of being able to work for yourself. And then there are times where I'm on the clock till the midnight. So that's how I balance and set boundaries for what I'm doing. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I might stay a little later and take all of my meetings. Fridays, I don't work. Mondays and Wednesdays, it's whatever has to get done. So my typical days are different from day to day because I also have a 14-year-old. I have a mini golden doodle. I have a family. I'm trying to find me a man. All the things. So I've got to
You got a life.
I've got to have a life too, So those are the things. It really
By
is
the way,
just
I
typical.
appreciate your honesty.
Thank you very much.
It's not so easy.
All of the things, but you know what? I'm glad that you said that because I think that not enough business owners
are honest
and transparent with what this entrepreneurship and business ownership journey looks like. And I think that we take so much on the chin and try to dip and dodge the negativity that what we present out to the world looks very polished and looks very good. Even if you hear little rumors, you're like, at least they got something. But I think the idea of it is that I feel like if more entrepreneurs were really honest with the trials and tribulations that go on when you are trying to grow a business or a brand, or you are just trying to set yourself apart from everybody else and follow your dreams and passions, I think that we have to be very, very serious and transparent about how that looks to other people. Because like you said, people are always watching. And entrepreneurship is such a lonely ass journey. No matter how much of a team you have, when you are the HBIC or the HNIC, it really just falls on you. So at the end of the day,
every bad decision, every time you lose money, anytime something goes wrong,
every time somebody got a problem with something you said on social media, it's like, oh, but Spark, oh my God, leave Spark alone. It's not bothering nobody, it's me. But yeah, identities being tied up in what you're doing, I think that it's really important. I've always presented myself as a transparent person that in this journey, I have to continue that because it's crazy out there. Boy, I tell you.
How do you decide who gets a voice on your platform?
Interesting. I feel like I let everybody get a voice. I feel like, there are sometimes that people hit us up and be like, yo, how can I get an interview? Yo.
Yeah, not like that.
No. Who are you?
Yeah, right.
Good evening, good morning. Nice to see you. I'm glad you're here.
Who are you?
But it's like if I notice that people are doing something, which I'm pretty much out there all the time, different events, different networking events, just even being on social media and scrolling and seeing people get tagged and seeing people's things get brought up all the time, like this beautiful art in here. Like, People are always talking about it. So who is this person? Let's get them in here.
Yeah.
And then the same things of what we're talking on the news. A lot of the people that get a platform are the people that are fighting already, and they already are doing like organizations, whether it's food insecurities, public school, housing. Today we had Lieutenant Governor there, and we wanted to know, like, what are y'all doing up there that's not trickling down up here? So it's really kind of talking to the people that everybody else is talking about, and they want to see who these people are, especially politicians.
Yeah, I mean, that was huge. You know what I mean?
Politicians, because people in the community still look at politicians as like celebrities.
Yeah. They're
I
not.
don't-
They're supposed to be public servants.
They're public servants, and they work for me.
Yeah, they're supposed to work for you.
My tax money goes into the budget in order to increase or decrease y'all's pay. So that means I'm your boss. And I think that more than ever, civilians and regular, ordinary constituents, community members, neighbors really need to start humanizing these politicians and understanding that the power that we have. Like, you could see somebody tomorrow and decide that you don't really necessarily like them, or you do like them. You rally around 10 of your best friends, and now you guys are those people's push. And maybe if you didn't do that, they wouldn't have gotten elected. So we have to really make sure that we are holding politicians to task. And that's why I like to bring them on the platform, because not only am I asking questions, but the commenters are asking questions, and I'm going to ask them all the questions. Some of them get crazy, but, we got to calm that down.
So it seems like,
back.
Really pushing the culture forward and holding people accountable, and also finding the truth.
Yeah.
That seems to be what makes the
We want-
conversation worth it.
Yeah, we want people to have opinions, and like everybody be like, everybody don't need to have opinion. So yes, you should have an opinion. Maybe your opinion is not respected, but you can have one. You could have one
Everyone
if you
is
want.
entitled.
Everyone could have one. But we want those opinions to be based on facts and not on feelings. And that sounds very cliche. But sometimes even us, we're on the radio, we're reporting a story. Our first response to what we're hearing is like, oh no, that's not good. And then we open the article and start reading it. It was like, oh, I get it. But usually people don't go that far to do that.
No.
So we're bringing the people on in the places that they're already at. So social media, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of the things. So there's really no excuse for you not to know what is going on if you really wanted to, because we're going to tell you.
And you're not just running media, you're shaping narratives. Do you feel that responsibility?
Absolutely. Because we're able now to, mainstream media will report the news in one way, and then you'll be like, actually, that's Ray Ray.
Yeah.
He's not even like that. I don't know what they're talking
Blatant
about.
lies.
That's not what fake news. Fake news. So we're there to kind of combat that. Like, if it's going to be fake, then what's the real story to it? Now form your opinion based on the real story and not this clickbait headline that you just heard.
And that brings us to something important. You're currently fundraising for Spark FM.
Yes.
So what made right now the right time to invite the community into that and start your, crowdfunding journey again?
Commercial real estate. So there are twofold things. Commercial real estate, I don't believe, and this is a campaign that I'm on outside of fundraising, I believe the commercial real estate in this city, because it's the only way that I have it, is predatory. A lot of the times they are charging astronomical amounts of rents, and then on top of that, you're paying like triple net. So that is insurance, all your utilities, taxes on the property, everything. So when property taxes go up for these landlords that have these investment properties that they're just making bank off of, that gets trickled down to the little business. So that's what's been happening with us. We have been really paying a hell of a lot of rent. Now, it's not out of control rent. We have a huge space. So it almost is market rent value, whatever. That's business. The reality of the business and the nuances of small businesses is that oftentimes we get into these situations very unknowing because the opportunity arises and we don't want it to let it go. And you don't really understand the full capacity of what you're about to take on.
Right, like a contract.
Like a contract. You understand that the contract, you understand that you signed the lease, you understand that you do those things. So we cannot put that past small business knowledge and education. But when it comes to just how it actually works in reality, it's like, okay, maybe we shouldn't have done this. How can we work with small businesses to lighten the load so that we can still grow and we can still scale our businesses without going completely in the red and being stressed out for the rest of our lives? When the opportunity, why the fundraiser now? Recently, the opportunity to buy my building came about.
Wow.
And the reason why we went into that space in the first place was because that opportunity was always a vision and always a dream. It's how I got talked into the building in the first place and how we ended up writing our lease so that they couldn't sell the building without letting me know first so that I can make an offer.
Opportunity to buy.
Yeah, it's called a first right of refusal. So we had that built into our lease from the beginning because at first we were like, let's see if we can buy it in 4 to 5 years. But if they're not ready to sell it, then that doesn't really matter. At this point, they can't let go of the building, sell it to a developer, anything without at least giving me enough time to match or beat the offer. So with that said, while there's nobody trying to buy it right now, we're like, let's just get the money up
now
so that we can just buy the block.
Yeah, that's smart.
One thing that we talk about all the time is ownership. We need to start owning the land that we're building our businesses on.
Yeah, land is everything.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing they took from us, right?
Yeah.
It was the land.
And I want my 40 acres and a mule. Damn it.
For someone listening right now, what does their support actually go towards? Well, now we guys know it's to buy the building so she can be an owner, not only of Spark FM, but the building. And what are you trying to unlock in this next phase of Spark FM?
Stability. That's it.
That's it.
Stability.
What happens to platforms like yours if they don't get that kind of support?
If we don't get that kind of support, nothing's gonna happen to us. Let's put it that way. We'll pivot and we'll find a way to continue to do what we do. But I never like to think in that terms. I always liked, if it goes away, then it loses a little bit of its power because of the location that we are in. Where we're located is so central to Boston that it makes so much sense for a media center to be there. So that's one of the things.
Prime real estate.
Prime real estate. And then just prime visibility on top of that. One of the biggest things about it is not just owning the building, but it stabilizes the building, the business in general. It gives us more freedom to kind of do things with our money. It puts equity back into the business. It puts equity into the community because now there's somebody, and don't get me wrong, my building is currently owned by Black people, but those are Black people that have lots of investment properties that might be okay with letting 1 or 7 go, if it stays with one of us who are, deep rooted and for us, by us, it makes the most sense. So not only will it go to stabilizing, but it also goes to talent acquisition, paying our artists. It goes to equipment and software upgrades. We've been working off of the same equipment that the community gave us 5-6 years ago. It's time to upgrade. So those things are just kind of helping us stabilize and to put more money into the business in a different way.
You give people even a better experience.
Exactly.
For anyone listening who believes in independent media and real voices, how can they support Spark FM right now? Where are they going?
Yeah. So you can follow us across all social media. The campaign kicked off on Saturday. So now we are full blown into fundraising for the next 3 months. So if people want to go to any of our social media sites in the link in the bio, actually it's not there yet because I can't get in my link tree for some reason, which is crazy. We'll make another one tonight. But people can visit our Give Butter link. It's Give Butter by the Block. And that way they can donate as much. We do have a reward system too, where if you're a small business, we'll do ad space, or you need event space for your event. You can come and pay for it there. Donations come in no matter how they go. You can use it now, you can use it later. But, you know, we really just want people to give back or not give back, give to.
Give to.
So that we can give back. Hey, see?
How do you balance, you're so funny, how do you balance being the boss and the personality?
It's just the same.
Yeah.
At home, I'm really, don't talk to me. I have an attitude. I'm just blah. But when it's time to be on, whether it's hosting or being on the radio, I do know that I have a job and I'm professional. So no matter what's going on, whether I have a bad day, I've crashed out a couple of times.
Of course.
On the radio, but I'm a girl, so I can get that. But, you know, to balance it out, I think that what helped me build my personality was just who I naturally am. I really like people to walk away from experience from me feeling like, oh, that was fun,
Yeah.
or we had a good time,
Just
or I
bubbly,
learned
positive.
something. Yeah. And, you know, some people are mad positive and mad bubbly. I know how to give you a good dose of negativity to kind of balance that out. But we still gonna joke about it.
So you also founded the Boston Society of Caribbean Culture and Heritage. What gap were you filling? Like, why is preserving Caribbean culture in Boston so important right now?
So I'm the co-founder. There was five of us that founded it. That came out of a need for the Caribbean culture that I'm part of. I'm half Trinidadian and Honduran. So born and raised in Boston, went to school in Belmont to two Caribbean people. Like, it was just a lot going on. I feel well balanced. But Boston Society of Caribbean Culture and Heritage, aka BSOCCAH for short, because there was a lot of words, sparked out of a movement called Save Boston Carnival. Save Boston Carnival is a movement to change the trajectory of the declining Boston Carnival as we see it. Back in the day, we had like 14, 20 different bands. There was people coming from everywhere. Now, you on Blue Hill Ave, you most likely not even gonna leave your house for nothing. It's dwindled down to almost nothing. It's been ran by the same person for the last 45 years. It is time to do a changing of the guards, and we're not getting there. Like a lot of other organizations in the country, the elders feel some type of threat when it comes to passing the baton. And that is something that we really, I think the country is the way it is because we keep on forgetting that the youth are the future, and that sometimes the capacity of an elder is not the capacity that something as big as, let's just say, the Caribbean Carnival of Boston needs to have. Like, that comes with innovation, energy, time, resources, and not to say that those people have not done their part and should be lamented in history. But if we're going to get to the next 50 years of Carnival, we got to kind of work with people who are going to be here for the next 50 years.
You speak to a very interesting dynamic going on in the world right now. Young people who don't respect older people who don't respect younger people. And really, we just need more connectors.
Yeah.
People who can bridge that.
Yeah.
So when you see younger generation at your events, like, what do you hope they can carry forward?
Oh my God, I want it so bad. Like, we have a demographic of about, let's say our biggest segment is about 24 to 44. I want that to be lower, like 16 to 32. Why I say that is because I do not plan to be the CEO of Spark FM for the rest of my life. There's gonna be a time, maybe in the next 15 to 20 years. I'm 20 years crazy.
Are you thinking expansion, partnerships?
So a couple of things. We're thinking about, our model has always been to expand into different major minority metros. That means like upcoming urban cities that probably have a heavy dose of Caribbean culture as well. In those places, there usually are not really nice local radio stations that cater to what they want to hear and what they want to listen to and do. So we want to replicate the model of Spark FM in other places. So Spark FM Boston, Spark FM North Carolina, Spark FM
That's the best way to do it.
Atlanta, yeah. So now I'm not the boss. All those individual
Are running their own
directors are
Spark
on
FM in their
exactly.
own jurisdiction.
Exactly.
So you're building something that clearly lives at the intersection of culture and discovery.
Mhm.
So what is something that you want to let those who are in independent media, those who disseminate news for the culture, and those who even try to organize, what would you say to them about, what's possible? And I also want to mention that you've been part of movements that have been recognized by Mayor Wu,
Mhm.
and you've gotten real, you've gotten real letters sent to you
Yeah.
in recognition.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck, I was checking
Just
that
look
Instagram. Yeah.
at
So, what would you say to all those people who are independent who believe I don't have a big enough voice, I'm not making a big enough push, I can't last 6 years like Miss Danielle has?
And let me tell you, it really is not about thinking that far ahead. When you were first starting out in this media journey, you're most likely going to have maybe 2 people listening. And then your consistency is really going to be the test of what you're building.
Mm.
If you keep showing up every single day, something eventually is going to pop off. When that will be, who knows? It might be in month 2, it might be in year 6. But if that's something that you're passionate about and you always thinking about it and always thinking about how you're going to grow it and make it keep on going, then there's no way to let it go. Like, we're at the museum, and like I said, the last time I
Been
was here was
10
like 10
years.
years plus probably.
Longevity.
It's been a long time,
Right.
and Noble is somebody that I have always seen. Like, he was out before my podcast was out. So,
Oh, you giving Noble
yeah,
props?
I mean,
He's a
listen,
pioneer? Oh my goodness. You guys
we all knew,
you guys heard it from Spark FM. We all knew what? Go ahead, say.
we all knew that the museum was always there. I think the museum's problem is that it was a different format. It was always video, and people didn't start popping off on video until the podcasting thing started
From the
popping
blog
up.
to the internet era.
Exactly. So now everybody's doing vlogs. They're vlogging.
But he was already
and
doing
he
that
was
back
already
then.
doing that. So if you are from Boston, you've been in this media scene, you know that. You can always, you can
Try
always
to lie.
nuance it, and you
Yeah.
could always be like, yeah, but he's not a part. But it is the same thing. What he's doing is content every week.
Yeah, radio, audio,
Consistency,
visual.
all of it.
Mhm.
So really, we know that. He's been a pioneer in this business for forever. He started out showing what the rest of us could actually do.
Leading the way.
So and Noble has had many accolades and many achievements and stuff like that. And he's still here, regardless of whether he gets all of the big ones or the small ones, whether he has 15 listeners or 500, he's still here. And that consistency is literally the only way you're going to make it.
Which is how you've lasted 6 years.
Yeah, just keep on doing it. Just keep doing it. Whether you're at this radio station, this podcast, this whatever. If you love this shit, you keep doing it. It's not even a job. It's just like, ugh, I gotta do podcasts.
This is your purpose.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta do the radio today. Ooh, I gotta go in. Like, it's just something like, even when you don't want to do it. And I'm probably thinking it's the same thing with art too. Like, I don't feel like drawing today. I gotta get this done.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like it, so I'm gonna do it today.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Definitely. And, before we close out here, I want to, kind of get a story from you, Miss Danielle. Tell me about your best moment, or maybe your most impactful moment on the show.
You mentioned it earlier. So this was just Friday. We met Sherry Shepherd, and she came into the studio. I remember we setting up the interview.
Sorry, for those who don't know, who is Sherry?
Sherry Shepherd, comedian, host, talk show host, actor, celebrity,
guys, search her up, you'll know
extraordinary.
exactly who it is.
Yes.
Continue,
Go,
please.
let's watch the Sherry show. It's only got a couple episodes left. But she came in, and for the first, like, it wasn't even an interview. It almost was like a fireside chat where, as a media girl talking to a media girl,
Giant.
a media giant in the industry, the type of gems that she dropped on us about voice changes and finding friends and your team and the highs and the lows of all of this was so just magical at that time, because like I said, I always feel like I want to quit. I always feel like this is done. I don't want to do this anymore. And then I heard her say about, losing her show, or one time she didn't get this, or they canceled her on whatever, and how she would be on the floor crying and have to call her friends. And I was like, oh my God, I do that too. So it was really it was confirming that when you, again, like if you love this and you want to do this, you're going to keep on going. And every no, there's a door literally being opened for you somewhere else. Sometimes you never know when that door is going to hit. It might take a long time. But when it opens, jump through that bitch, because it's time to go.
Yeah, as I walk through the valley of shadow and death, have
Oh,
no
fear
fear,
no
the Lord
evil.
is with
Yep.
you. Yeah, 100%. And that's basically the journey every business owner goes through. They go to the valley,
Yeah.
you know, and they kind of they die and then
Yeah.
they're reborn, and then they know that, hey, once I can manage myself and God's with me, like there's nothing
And
that can
prayer.
stop me.
Prayer.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just need to pray about it,
Yeah,
child.
people forget, you know, having faith in
Yeah.
something bigger than you, because would be wanting to quit. Some
Absolutely.
people want to quit. So I want to say thank you so much for coming through, Ms.
Thank
Danielle.
you.
You know, founder of Spark FM, co-founder of BSOCCAH, you know, pushing to protect the festivals, the carnivals. Guys, please help in the crowdfunding. She's going to be buying a building. She's going to be a business owner of that prime real estate in Boston. You know, this is one of the gems we got to hold on to in the city.
Boop, boop, boop.
Respect to the Muse, 336 Blue Hill Ave. You know, George, Noble, Joey Politics, all the guys who let us just be here. Appreciate you guys. Another soul food banger. Yeah, I do that every time. I always do this.
Oh.
No, you good? Yeah, give me yeah. You funny as fuck. You like my favorite auntie vibes. Oh, dogs. What the
That's what I aim to
Where
be.
can we find